Hello everybody, I am Agnalangle and we are back with Great Ace Attorney and we have got some good shit to do today. Let's listen to the deduction, shall we? Yeah! Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Indeed. Where the blue blazes have you been, eh? Gosh, sorry. My voice has not had time to wake up yet today. Pardon. When Lay's in trouble, true gent's supposed to be that help, straight away, not an hour later. He's dead. Harsh. She killed him! And who, pray tell, are you? Do not say pray tell to me. Pray forgive the discourtesy. I am your undoing, Mr. Eggert Benedict. Also, sorry, the Mother Unit and I have been playing Investigations, and my Edgeworth voice is very similar to my Shelm's voice, so I'm struggling to differentiate now. It's been a while. Mr. Eggert Benedict, you have, in my eyes, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Yeah! No shit, Shelms. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon. The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. Oh, okay. Got that one right. And the second is this. He points every time. A considerable crime is in contemplation. One you will orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? Oh, we don't like it. How? He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg. You're funny, Ryunosuke. It would seem that, once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction. Of course he has. Just who do you think you are, sir? Why, I am Herlock Sholmes, yeah. Ah, yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. Ha! Yeah! He loves seeing people in pain. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Yeah! Woo! Game is afoot. Mystery Man's Aim. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption tickets stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. We were right. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. He thinks he's getting a job? The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. He flung it! I never noticed that. That's incredible. The cane, which you unwittingly clutch to your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. Good grief. What utter rot. I've had this cane for years, Ag. Yeah. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, no, the missing ferrule, probably. The end of any walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. Oh my god, do you really need that? You were a foot away from it, my guy. And yet detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare. It took detailed analysis to notice. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. Where are you going with this? Oh? What was that? You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? well, I... And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle you see. Okay, apparently not. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. Uh-oh. What walking cane demands such a stout handle, mused I. Most of them? Don't you need a good, sturdy handle to, you know, for a walking cane so you don't fall? But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. The only thing this reminds me of is like the walking stick that blind people use to like get a sense of where everything is in the room so they don't, you know, trip over everything and fall. Not because it doesn't have the ferrule or whatever Sholmes called it on the bottom that would stabilize you if you were actually using the walking cane. So it can't be a walking cane. But it could be a stick, but I don't think he's blind, considering that he has been very actively glaring at everyone and everything. No, that rod. What? It's the broken handle of a shovel. What? Are you insane? I agree for once. And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. Sholmes, you've lost your damn mind. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. Alright. To tunnel underneath the pawnbroker. You've done it. Great crime. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. I don't think lettuce would go very well with eggs. I'm sorry, that was bad, I'm sorry. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd! You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel. What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Diamonds? Oh, stop gesticulating! I hate you! Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Yes, because you see, you stole the Declaration of Independence and it has a treasure map on the back of it. Egbert Benedict is after the Declaration of Independence. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but that is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Okay, what? Ah, your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. He turned and looked at it. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway. That flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you, a bank robbery? In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Incredible. Master plan! Which brings us to the last final, which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? That sentence made no sense to me. I read it wrong or something. Hold on. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? To make off? Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. He has evidence? Let's go. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. A postcard of the Great Exhibition? I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway. And the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank on the other side of this road. Oh my god. Pardon. Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of that bank, the special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. I did just casually share it with what I believe to be a criminal, but he's such an idiot. Oh, himbo. Himbo, himbo, himbo. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes's great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle. Yeah! He did it! He solved it! He was gonna rob the bank for some reason. Mr. Sholmes. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, an impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? I have seen that this line was translated very differently by the fans before the remake came out. Okay, I'm going to save this picture so I can put it up on screen, but I'm going to do a reading of it too. That logic was so hot you'd hardly believe this detective is single and lonely. I don't know which one I like more. Honestly, this one fits him a little bit better, to me. A lot of fans were upset about it because they thought it was funny that he said he was single, I suppose. But, like, this fits him more. I don't think he would bring that up. Was it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? I need to get into some of that. Indeed, though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. That's why they told me. Gregson told me in the strictest confidence. And what did I do? I exposed it for all to hear. But you just announced it to everyone here. Rather loudly, in fact. Ah. And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly it is because the man is a criminal. Oh my god. You're right. But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret. She ain't wrong. Oh. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windybank will. He already has plenty of shovels here after all. Oh my life! I assure you I'm not so unscrupulous. I cannot remember what he sounded like, good grief. I hope that's what he sounded like. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them, and once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo, an excellent idea. I give away government secrets. Oh, it's so funny. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yup, let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. Stop saying that! Very well then, let us start once more from the top. Of Sherlock Holmes's magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular. You love to see it. Course correction, let's go. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. So, by Mr. Sholmes's reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor. Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he? No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is, where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? His hat. Wait, I can actually... Okay, well, we gotta do a joke answer. I forgot to save, so we will have to take a penalty. But first I want to know what they have to say about it. That silk top hat is whiter than white. Only an English gentleman could hope to carry off something so bright. But it looks so incongruous with the black overcoat, don't you think? Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, that's just guesswork, of course. How about it, Mr. Naruhodo? I think you'd look rather fetching in a white top hat. Well, you know, I think it might look rather incongruous with my black university uniform, so... Crazy, I've been wearing this thing for months without washing it. Alright, let's do the hat. He looks so angry. Okay. Take that. You can't judge a book by its cover, as they say. Someone who appears wealthy may well be poor. Being such a man, you're desperate for money. When you realized you had no real need for your hat, you brought it here today with the intention of pawning it for as much as the broker would give you. What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion? Well, it's supposed to be logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd... Okay, that's the same. Perhaps there's something in this pawn shop that the man was looking for? Let's look closely and see if there's anything about his person that gives us a clue. The cane! I don't think it's gonna be funny, TBH. What is this? What is this? Oh! Look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here. I don't believe it! What is it? Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade. Height, 5'2". Oh, she is only 1 inch taller than me. She's tiny too. You love to see it. Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade. Yeah, no shit. Goodness. There's even a sketch of her here, hat and all. Although if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure, and he'd deserve it. And look, the details of this shop have been written down here too. Wendy Banks Pawnbrokery, Baker Street. Redemption deadline, 15th April. Which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? It's so creepy. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer pertain to the pickpocket, Miss Lestrade, and to Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery here. Ugh. You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade. You had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. Oh, she's so mad. Can't blame her. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today, by which I mean... Here, to Windybank's Pawnbrokery, and today, the redemption line of that overcoat. Yeah, you just said that. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. Huh. And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade by holding out the notes that you have about her. While we're spinning around you and observing your every move. Great idea. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. Okay, that was a good transition. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. Ferrule. What's a ferrule? It's the metal cap commonly found at the end of a cane, Mr. Powell. Sorry, I'm so sick of her saying Mr. Naruhodo. I kind of wanted her to just say Mr. Powell. Mr. Powell? It feels a little bit, sarcastic, and I like it. Ah, the bit that makes the nice clacking sound on the pavement? Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane. But it doesn't actually look broken, does it? No, it doesn't. The gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious. In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. I bet if you open the end of it, it's got jewels in it or something. I still think it's the stylish hat. There's literally nothing we can click on, correct? There's not. It pretty much tells you. Ag. Look here, Mr. Soto. There are some letters on the handle. Ah, yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names. So, Sherlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean? That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously... Oh. AG. Why does this feel as though something's not quite right? Because he said his name was Egbert Benedict, that's why. Take that. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Egbert Benedict? Love it. Great name. We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are M. Yet in a most possessive manner, you have in your grip a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't... You said before that you'd had that cane for years. Could be like a relative's or something. Also, why is he looking at him like that? That pose, man. Wow, that pose is something else. He got the arch back going. I mean, that shit is arched. Also, is that an alligator at the top? What? Okay, sorry, my ADHD is getting like an overload right now. I'm gonna shut up. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. Oh, that noise! The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat. And now a mysterious man has appeared, introducing himself with a fake name and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. I still think the cane does it. The hat again. What else is there that I could present on him? It's really just the hat or the cane. I still say the hat. It just doesn't match. Take that! Your top hat is far too stylish for your own good. Though you might like to conceal it, a hat so conspicuous will always stand out. Base Ryunosuke. And that is why I'm convinced that it has to be the answer to this riddle. That deduction was wanting in every way. Yes, I was wanting you to hear it, yeah. Okay, fine. I'll do the real one. Okay, let's just... Ah, what's this now? Oh, the seam on the shoulder there is coming apart, look. So it is. It looks like it was it was put together with shoelace. Do you know, a moment ago when Mr. Benedict was surprised by something that was said, I thought I heard him make a rather strange noise. Sounded a bit like a tiny growl. Yep, that ripping. But now I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open. If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting, and he wouldn't have a hope of fastening it at the front. If he were to run around in it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart. That I'd like to see. What is that supposed to mean, Susato? Sorry? So how can we make Mr. Benedict run around? She's really giving this some thought. Is he your type, Miss Susato? Really? This guy? The rich? Oh. Okay.
Take that!
The split seam, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Oh, he probably didn't even know he ripped it. Yes, because this overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit, and you can't gain weight in 3 months. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. Shut up, Sholmes. They were not. Oh, that was a nice transition. When you so boldly lied about your name and so boldly relayed this pickpocket. Ugh. This catalogue of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the Declaration of Independence. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windybank. Oh! We did it. Let's go. But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed, which means that I just told you how to commit a crime. That's it. Okay. What's he gonna change it to? To abscond with a redeemed item. We did it! We got the stamp of approval from, God, I guess? This is utterly absurd! Does he change it? You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to filch some tawdry article of pawnage. You've forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword. She did too! Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place? How could I possibly have known the relevant details? Nest see paws? I'm sure that's not how that's said, but I like to think he doesn't know either. That's how I cover up the fact that I don't know anything. He doesn't know either. Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too aware, Mr. Benedict. Too well aware. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. Huh? Let us consider how one might come to learn a watchword. I thought that it was going to repeat. The method is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Please let me access history. Okay. Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. Good enough. The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, no more talk of tunneling into the sewers, which is a pity because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windybank would never allow you to redeem the article, which doesn't make sense about how Gina knew it! I'm sorry, I'm mad. Or, looking at it another way, if you did know that word, Mr. Windybank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? I wonder if it's in that giant book. It's not! It's not the book? Wait, I thought it was the book. Also, I completely forgot to save. I kind of want to try the gun. This is Mr. Windybank's gun. Yes, loaded with only one bullet, he said. It would appear that being a pawnbroker is a very life or death profession. That might just be this particular establishment. Okay, I think it was the gun. Coercing the broker for information by holding a gun to his head. That's aggravated assault. Using the broker's own gun to do it? That's rubbing aggravated assault in the wound. But somehow, when none of us were looking, you must have forced Mr. Windibank to tell you the watchword. That deduction was wanting in every way. Yes, I was wanting you to hear it. Shut up, Ryunosuke. Sounds like I need to have another look and examine things more closely this time. I think it's the oil lamp. The old lamp, sorry. This lamp may be old, but it's in tip-top condition and it's been polished until it gleams. What does this have to do with anything? Somehow, by some inexplicable physical phenomenon, the watchword was reflected in this glass chimney. And you read it with your superhuman eyesight. It's the only logical explanation. Deduction was wanting. Okay, that was good. That was good. Alright, you know what it is? Ugh, why couldn't we have just gone from the other angle? Look at this, Mrs. Otto. Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Windibank has scribbled to himself. Let's see, what does it say? Oh! Professor! Mr. Windibank must make a note of the watchwords his customers give him right before their eyes. And in alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see? Well, as long as you're not using the secrets, it's fine. The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response, uttered on a notelet he has to hand, excuse me. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. He can't remember the watchword in like 3 seconds? Like, could you not, like, wouldn't you be like, okay, professor, let me look. Like, you have to write it down? I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in this shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windibank. When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword, as is his common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. Okay, so this was when she first pawned it. Gotcha. Or not, actually, who knows. And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Miss Lestrade. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? One ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally, you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I've no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. Thank you. The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets, which according to Mr. Windibank isn't even worth a penny. And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't remember this. Could we? Really? Better have a thorough look through all the evidence we've collected so far. I would if you would let me. Okay.
Take that!
They don't even... He doesn't even say anything, he just presents it. They genuinely did not think you would be stupid enough to do that, I suppose. I love it. That's great.
Take that!
What? What? What else is it? There's only two things! What? Oh, shit. I forgot. That's right. Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck onto the reverse side of the disc, look. And a scribbled word or two. Looks like somebody's name. Oh, they can't read cursive, bless them. Neither can I, honestly. Not very well. For Mr... Not for Mr. For McGilded. McGilded! It couldn't be. But it is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget for as long as I live. Why? Why is his name on this? Ooh. Shit. Ah, it's getting real now. Yeah. There we go. You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. What's that on the back? He didn't know about it? It reads, for McGilded. Ugh! Thanks for showing him. Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilded. The unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey only 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature. That's so mean! In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Was he? That looks like it would drag the floor with him, wouldn't it? Whatever. I guess he was kind of broad. Ugh. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Eggert Benedict. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today. Yeah! Was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded. Oh! We did it, boys. Woo! Victory. Dubs. Dubs. We did it. To acquire an item deposited by Mr. McGilded. Yeah! Elementary! Well, well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances. Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind. Pray tell, Miss Usado. Well, according to what Mr. Winterbank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat could have been redeemed, was it not? Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Wait, 2 months? I thought it was 3. Okay. Well, today is 15th April, so 2 months ago today would have been 15th February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see. What? But that suggests... Yes, 15th February is precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And 10:30 in the evening is precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding. Ooh, it's getting good. Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's getting real. You are of course at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However... I must insist you hand over the music box disc now. Why is Windybank's a coward. Why isn't he holding him at gunpoint? It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. What do I do? Last time, I'm pretty sure I said, I'm absolutely handing over the disc. It is not worth dying over. But, I want to know what happens. It might not matter. It might be one of those situations where it's the illusion of free choice. There's some things a man must protect at all costs. For me, it is this random music box disc. This may well be one of those things. Then again, it may not. Yeah! Good job, Mr. Windybank. This is my shop. I cannot allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen... Never mind. Never mind. I should have to take my own life. Mr. Windybank, come on! Are you kidding me? I don't think I can do this without spoiling. Okay, you know what? Since I've got the extra knowledge, it just adds to the immersion. Alright, that's enough. Hi! Inspector Gregson! Inspector? That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all this about, eh? What's all this then? Oh, praise be, you're here at last. I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. Shut up. Whew. It would seem you have the upper hand. It would seem I'm going to jail now. I mean, really. Oh. Right, you lot have got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy. We got held at gunpoint! What do you mean? Petty? Mr. Winterbank very nearly met his... We very nearly met our end. My god. Yeah, by his own gun as far as I can tell. Oh dear. And the whole lot of Britain could meet with its end if I don't get to the bottom of this case I'm supposed to be working on. What? What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. I'll tell everyone. I might have said a little too much. No matter. It's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. Thank goodness. He's just gonna eat. But of course, Inspector. Okay. Oh. Ah! Oh no. He's getting away. Get after him, lads! Whistle the beat officer, too! Okay, I guess that's him. Sir! Sir! I don't know who is who there. What? You're not gonna go with them? There's been a spate of theft. There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently. So we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. That's kind. Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Shut up. Now then, Mr. Permanently Immortan? Oh, yes? What? I'll be taking that whatever it is of Mr. McGilded's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh, yes, of course. No, don't! Don't give it to him! It's mine, that is! Mine! I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded's been taken in as evidence now. Ooh, as evidence? If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. Okay. It's all yours, Inspector. And so, we handed Mr. McGilded's disc over to Inspector Gregson. He was summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. Dang, we got kicked out? For what? Is that it? Oh! Okay. That was 51 minutes in to recording. Not bad.